Working in silos, a term very commonly used in a corporate setting, but silos are a result of lack of communication and collaboration only? Or is there something else at play? Let's find out. Welcome to Thank God It's a Story Saturday, a weekly video series where I share stories with you that you can use to make your messages connect. Today's story was told by the Prime Minister of Singapore in a National Day rally speech. The story is still available on YouTube, and I will credit the source here in this video. Now, on this particular day, our PM here in Singapore was launching a new office called the Municipal Services Office that is responsible for coordinating the work and services of the various agencies. So think of it like this. You have various departments that have a potential to work in silos. Then you introduce an office that actually is responsible for coordinating all their services. So our PM is doing something very similar. Now, instead of giving people reasons as to why the office is needed, he tells a story. Let's listen to the story.
So to prepare for this speech, I asked the MPs to give me some recent examples. So tonight, I've decided Mayor Low Yen Ling wins the lucky draw. Yen Ling's residents had complained that the walkway to Bukit Gombak MRT station was often dirty. One resident told her he saw a fishball stick there on the walkway. The next day he came back, he looked, the same fishball stick was still in the same place. Her residents have very sharp eyes. So Yen Ling called up the agencies to find out why the area was not being cleared regularly. And she had to make multiple calls to several agencies, held several meetings. Finally, she managed to establish what happened. And here's what she found. Listen very carefully. On the left of the walkway is a slope. The slope belongs to NEA. Okay? In the middle, this is a park connector. Park connector, 顾名思义, you think of the name, belongs to NParks. On the right-hand side is a pavement. Pavement is next to the road. Road comes under LTA. So the fishball stick was on the road side, and the road side was only cleared every 2 days because each of the organizations had their own cleaner, own schedules, and they did it separately. So I don't think it makes a lot of sense, and everybody has agreed, and we've resolved this case. From now on, NEA Pao Ga Liao. So Yen Ling did her job as a mayor, but she found it a frustrating and difficult experience, even though she's a mayor. So can you imagine if you're an ordinary citizen trying to solve such a problem and running around the different agencies? So it's not the way we should be operating, and we have to do better to bridge these interagency boundaries and to serve the public in an integrated way. Many cities encounter these problems. Some of them have gone into op centers to report and monitor municipal issues. Like Rio de Janeiro in Brazil, they have a very modern op center, looks like a NASA command post. And all the emergency services, all the key public agencies report to it. They have cameras all around the city. You see the screens, they can monitor what's happening. It's manned by 50 officers, and they can give commands and make things happen. If there's a disaster, if there's an accident, they can divert traffic. If it rains heavily, there's a risk of landslides. Because a lot of their slums live on the steep hill slopes, they can sound the sirens, warn people. And during World Cup, they found this op center very useful. So we need to get there also. And we will set up a municipal services office. One authority to coordinate all of the agencies. LTA, PUB, the whole lot, NParks.
What I'm most interested in, the point of that story. Often in the organizations, when we say working in silos is a result of lack of communication and collaboration, we forget that hyper-specialization in organizations also leads to that. We have a department for this, we have a department for that, and we have a department for this. But then, if these departments keep communicating and collaborating at all time, there'll be no time for them to do their own work. What most of the times you need is somebody who oversees and connects all the dots. Stay storied. I'll see you here next Saturday with another story.